10 and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They start the drive with Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Left side, Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Cook up the gut. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he is going to lose yardage here. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers 16. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills' opening drive yields 3. Well, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fourth down, Mayfield. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, 28 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. On 2nd and inches, Mayfield. Going back to Marshall. He's got him again. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now, Mayfield. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. The 30. 10. And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them.
And Cook will get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great play there with their 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Taron Johnson made the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Terrace Marshall from 17 yards out. And the Panthers are able to cut into that deficit. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that'll make it 24-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 45-yard line.
Now Cook running right. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run it. Here's Cook. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They run it again with Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And now they'll throw with Allen. Going deep for Diggs. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. So with that, we get you back up to Orchard Park and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get it. The 17-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Mayfield. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. McCaffrey on the counter. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Mayfield. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a 1st down here.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Right back to Hubbard. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
First down, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 33. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. To about the 35, second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Allen now looks to throw. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. A big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw again on second down, Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jordan Poyer. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Cook again. And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. Now Allen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Allen going to go on 4th down. Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal loss.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation. He hasn't been sacked all game, and there's an example as to why. Evaded the pressure, got out of the pocket, but even with the extra time, it doesn't translate into a completion.
We're in the third quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10. A give. This is Cook. That good for 22 and a first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. On 2nd down, Cook. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. The Bills on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. To the air, Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll air this one deep for Anderson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Mayfield with it once more. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, right at the 40. Mayfield throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A first down throw from Mayfield. He gets it to Thomas. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Mayfield down. Over the middle, complete. That's Marshall. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Panthers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. McKenzie now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. So Allen's going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get... And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Mayfield to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And this throw will be intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Mayfield. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Here's Baker. And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his 3rd of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. One last shot from Mayfield here. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little, too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
The Panthers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. One more, one more. King, king, king.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. So an interesting finish to this one. They get in the end zone at the end of the game. Then they went for 2. It wouldn't have mattered. The game was over, but they didn't get that 2-point conversion.
I think trying to get the 2 points, that was for pride for them. But obviously the guys on the other side of the ball had some pride too. They stopped the 2-point play even though, as you noted, it did not matter. So both teams battled to the end.
y'all can next double E. Cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my feet in the sense. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Got so many memories that I made. I'm really out for blood this time. Look. Dollar. Hey.
It's alright, man. Cool. I been going there like deposit. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read it.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We won't.
What's up, y'all? This is DJ Trey Mo, and welcome to Superstar.
If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom, and handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane.